criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Welcome to Catching a Case, the podcast from Sabir and Zaid Ismail. Today we're going to be talking about some jobs in the law industry, and we're going to be ranking them. So just to start off, let's talk about the Supreme Court judges. So the official, what is the official title, Zaid? Do you know?
Nah, what is it, Sabir?
Okay, so there's one Chief of Justice, alright? And like they're kind of like the top person.
Yeah.
And then there's 8 Pusain judges, so there's 9 altogether.
It kind of sounds interesting, not gonna lie.
So to be a Supreme Court judge, you have to be a current judge or a former judge, and it has to be in like the high courts, like a provincial or something, right?
Not gonna lie. Already sounds tough.
And then there's another way. You have to be a barrister. You know what a barrister is?
A barrister? I know there's barristers and solicitors, but I don't know what each of them are.
Solicitors.
These are not solicitors. Okay, I'll talk about solicitors.
Okay.
I think I know the difference.
You know what a barrister is?
Barista, they serve bars, right?
No, not a barista.
It's a barista.
A barrister.
Nah,
Alright, so a barrister is a type of lawyer in common law jurisdictions. Barristers mostly specialize in courtroom advocacy and litigation. So they're basically just lawyers, and just it's a weird name for the lawyers, to be honest. Alright, so some type of degrees. So the degrees you need to be a judge is obviously a bachelor's degree, and you need to have a law degree. So the nearest, do you know where the nearest law school is?
I think it's Saskatchewan. UFS?
Yeah,
UFS, yeah.
Personally, I don't like UFS. So moving on. So, some skills I think you would need to be Supreme Court judge is the decision-making skills, right? Because of course you're going to be having a bunch of cases and stuff. So personally, I think
it sounds hard to get into, you know.
Yeah, it sounds so difficult.
I'd rather go something a little bit more secure.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, and then also I think public speaking would be a top thing because you're going to be talking in front of a lot of people, and you also get a lot of salary benefits. So the Chief of Justice makes $403,800.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, that's the one person.
That's incredible.
Okay, and then the other Pusain judges, the 8 of them, make $373,900.
Wow. That is great.
And it's, of course, Supreme Court judge is not in high demand because you have to be appointed by the Governor and Council. So Tara, can you talk about one of your jobs?
Yeah, sure. Guys, just one thing. I found out what a barrister and solicitor is. So a barrister is basically like a person who specializes in representing the clients in court, and a solicitor gives legal advice and represents the client in court in the court. So they're like similar things, and they're like types of lawyers, you know. So the job that I'm talking about first is a corporate lawyer. So a corporate lawyer, it's like called the corporate lawyer, like the official title too, but it has a lot of different names, like the in-house counsel, the staff attorney, deputy general counsel, and chief legal officer. Those are all like similar to the corporate lawyer. A corporate lawyer might sound like an amazing job to do because, you know, we all talk about lawyers, doctors, and everything. But it's definitely not like an easy journey to reach that destination. So let's start with high school.
Before we go.
Yeah,
What corporation would you be a lawyer for?
What corporation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not like a big one like Apple that has like so many cases to deal with a day, you know. Maybe like not like a local corporation, you know. That'd be nice because you already.
I know.
Yeah.
Imagine being a corporate lawyer for a law firm. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh. Just cases coming to the law firm. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so let's start with high school. And one good thing is that corporate lawyers don't really need any high school prerequisites for this job. And you start with and so it's a long list. So you start with getting like a bachelor's degree. You you have to get into law school, but before that you have to pass a LSAT, which is a law school admission test. And once you get into law school, you have to get a bachelor of laws degree or a Juris Doctor degree, which takes another 3 years. And then you might think you're done studying, but no, you have to get your bar exam, and every province has a different bar exam. So as you can see, there's so many things that you have to do. And then you have to you have to go and get training from like a barrister or a solicitor, and then this and that. And then you can get your lawyer job after your apprenticeship that you do.
Quick question. So,
Yeah, what's up?
So you said they need the LSAT.
LSAT, yeah.
So is that American or is that Canadian?
No, that's Canadian. I think it's a Canadian job because the website I looked at.
It sounds like the SAT. That's why.
Yeah.
No, but it's called the law LSAT, the law school admission test. Like a lot of jobs that you'll see, a lot of them even in Canada are like ending with SAT.
So the prerequisite kind of thing.
Yeah, sort of. It's like getting into law school. You have to pass that test.
So I need to have a bachelor's degree to do the LSATs.
No, if you have a bachelor's degree,
Okay.
you need a bachelor's degree, so like a bachelor of arts or bachelor of science, yeah, and then you can do the LSAT. So first bachelor's degree, then the LSAT, then whatever. Okay. So what do corporate lawyers do? Do you guys know? You probably have a general idea, right?
Yeah. They
No,
try to just like take on big cases for the big companies.
Yeah.
Even small corporations, you know.
Hey, even small corporations.
Yeah, yeah.
Corporate lawyers work for either small corporations, like for example, I don't know, just some local corporation, Regina Hood School, and then there's also large corporate lawyers, of course, people working for like Apple, Amazon, and those kind of stuff. Their duties are to like protect the company against any legal risks of violations and negotiate deals on behalf of the company. And they're a good high-paying job, and there's lots of demand for corporate lawyers because there's corporations going everywhere, and even during especially COVID, because they're some businesses are facing a lot of problems, some corporations are facing a lot of legal problems too, so you will need those corporate lawyers. And corporate lawyers get paid, do you guys have an idea? Guess, let's see who's closer.
150.
150?
120 grand.
Corporate lawyers get paid 97 grand, which is pretty high paying on average, but of course this can go up to 150. And this job is in huge demand all the time, of course. And yeah, that's it for the corporate lawyer. That's interesting, right?
What is it?
What was the
starting?
97K. No, it's average.
Oh, the average.
It's average.
It's not bad,
It's not bad. It's not
For
bad.
8 years of school, 97K.
No, but then it matters to a corporation,
Take like
Once
a
you
doctor,
upgrade,
right?
you can promote and then go. Yeah.
Like a doctor, like they don't make too much over 100 grand, right? So it's a pretty fair deal for like 3 years.
Okay, so now I'm gonna give it to Zaid, and he's doing a job that I'm like really interested in, the forensic scientist, because I don't have any idea what it is. So let's see what he has to say about it.
Alright, so forensic scientists. Now these guys are really cool, alright? So they're also known as criminalists, which is, I find a really weird name, but there's a lot of stuff you have to go through in order to become a forensic scientist, but there's different ways to go into becoming a forensic scientist. First off, you got to go to university, get your undergrad, obviously your bachelor's and stuff. Usually you'd want to go into something like pharmacy, pharmacology, statistics, computer modeling. Stuff like those are going to really help you out in getting the job opportunity that you want to be for a forensic scientist. But also a very popular way of getting into this career is to become a detective and then take some classes or take some courses and programs to become specialized in the field as a forensic scientist, because forensic scientists are kind of like detectives in a
So
sense.
they're like it's like detective work and like scientists together in one.
Yeah, it's kind of cool,
Alright, so would those courses be like uni courses, or would they just be like normal courses?
Honestly, it doesn't specify. I'd imagine it's uni courses because, dealing with like chemistry and blood samples and whatnot, it does sound a little bit more advanced. But you'd probably have to find out a little bit more into that on your own. As to like what, forensic scientists do, they take photographs of the crime scene and they make sketches of the crime scene. So if you've ever watched movies how they like outline the person's dead body, that's kind of an idea as to what they might do as a forensic scientist. They record observations, collect data and all that good stuff. It's like a lot of science, graphics kind of stuff. But mostly what you need to become a forensic scientist is to have a logical and independent mind. A lot of the stuff you're going to be doing as a forensic scientist is going to take you into being attentive to detail, and you have to have really good communication skills, because not only are you presenting data to investigate it, but you got to also present it sometimes to court. And if you don't have those communication skills, it can go pretty bad in the case
Well, I have a question.
of prosecution.
So do forensic scientists play like a part in court? Do they like go to court or not really, or like just in the lab?
Depends on this on whether they get called on by the court. Sometimes they will be called on by the court to present themselves and to present their findings. But most of the time, investigators will just go on and explain what happened and provide the evidence that the forensic scientist found. So this career has a couple downsides, and honestly, it's more of a downside as to psychological and mental health and stuff like that. If you think about it, being a forensic scientist, you're on call all the time, so you're not going to spend a lot of time with your family, and it's going to be really difficult for you to have some free time on your own. And it's also very dangerous, not in the sense of physically, but also just with emotional side effects, such as witnessing bodies dismembered on the ground. You could also see like really, really weird, different, I guess, how do we say it? Like different types of crime scenes, right?
Yeah.
Different crime scenes that would, probably most of us wouldn't want to see in our lifetime. And it's a very dangerous job, but it's, as for its pay, it's actually not bad. At the start off, you make around 55K, and it can go all the way up to 108K if you work for the federal government. So, it's not a bad job. I think it's a pretty cool career you can go by.
Okay, it's supposed to be a cyber term, but I'm gonna take it anyways. RCMP officer, which I think is a very underrated job, and I'll explain why. So an RCMP officer, I know Sabir is already disliking this job, but I know he'll love it more than me after I'm done talking about it. So an RCMP officer has different ranks, like commissioner, deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner, chief superintendent, and on. And it's obviously just called an RCMP officer, which we probably heard about from a very young age. So what do you need to become an RCMP officer? Honestly, not much. Compared to the other jobs that we've spoken about already, you don't need a university degree, any university degree. You just need your high school diploma, which is a good thing, and you just have to, if you take a bachelor's degree, you don't have to take the RCMP admission test. And if you go to university, get a bachelor's degree. But if you don't get the bachelor's degree, you will still have to take the RCMP admission test.
Do you know the acceptance rate of the test?
I think the test is where the admission rate is pretty high. I think probably, I'm just guessing around ballpark over 70-80% over that. But for after the training, that's when maybe admission gets a bit tougher. You then, if you pass the test or if you complete your bachelor's degree, you take 26 weeks of RCMP training, and that's really, really intense training. I think it might be more intense than police officer training too, because you're more national police service. You're more important.
Probably mostly on the reserves too, right? Not in city.
Yeah. No, I've seen RCMP almost every national park I went to.
Yeah.
They're always there. That bank, you always see those guys. So anyways, you take that training and then you're basically good to go. That's simple. I mean, maybe I'm making it seem more simple than it is, because after the training they don't pick everyone. They take the best officers, or else everybody would just do RCMP jobs.
You get any benefits with being an RCMP guy?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to talk about right now. So the main benefit that I think I'm going to say is that it's very high paying if you look at the amount of education you need. The average salary for an RCMP is $83,000, which is pretty high considering you don't even need a university degree and you only need the high school diploma.
Oh.
And $83,000. See, Sabir's already starting to change his mind. So there's different benefits. Obviously, you get with the RCMP job, you get life insurance, you get health insurance, extended healthcare insurance, disability, dental, vision, private health, dental, all these benefits that a lot of jobs have. But obviously RCMP have these benefits as well, including the high pay, which is just amazing. RCMPs conduct patrols on motorized vehicles, bicycles, or on horseback too. Of course, we all know RCMPs ride those horses with the hat. They enforce traffic laws and finding offenders too. So it's not only dangerous jobs, which I know Sabir is gonna bring up, but it's you can do simple jobs too. Or just make sure people are following the law, and you'll get the good money and the benefits. Do you have a question?
Or do you remember, it was one of our teachers, I don't want to say the name, but like they talked about how one of the RCMP officers, it was a friend of his, right? And he lived I think it was one of the coldest places in Canada. And he worked for 6 months, then he got 6 months vacation. Remember that?
6 months vacation.
6 months
I
vacation.
remember.
That was the
Oh
coldest
yeah,
place.
because he was up north and he
Coldest place in
and it was
Canada.
like only one day of sun.
One day of sun.
Obviously, yeah, that might be like.
I just want to state that.
I
I'm not saying.
agree.
That's like an extreme case.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the people that do that are gonna get like higher paid as well. That's just because RCMP is like a broad job as well. Because there's different type of justices that they need to take care of. So we have one more job left, and let's see what Sabir has to bring to the table.
So, for the last job, I chose mediator. I don't know why, but I just thought it was I thought it was gonna be a nice choice, right? So, to be a mediator, the minimum requirements are a bachelor's degree, so you need a degree, and sometimes you need a master's, and you don't need a law degree for this job. You also need a bachelor's degree plus a graduate level certificate in conflict resolution or substantial demonstrated and satisfactory knowledge, and you need the skills and abilities as a mediator in some fields of mediation. So. Some of like the traits I think you need for a mediator is analyzing both parties extensively, because basically for example, you be the mediator and me and Zaid are having a conflict. You have to listen to both sides and you have to, analyze both of our like reasons extensively, correct? Okay, and then after that you have to be writing down all the rulings and decisions regarding the conflicts. You'd also have to be consistent with your mediation skills, because after a while, you're gonna hear all these arguments and all these reasons, and you're just gonna get tired of it. You have to be continuous with your work and be consistent. So it's repetitive too. It's not repetitive, like at one point, but like you're having two parties conflicts about, like they're gonna keep bringing up the same problems, especially when it's just like two like
I couldn't
owners.
do that. I couldn't do that.
I don't think I
so
can do
boring.
it. No, okay, listen. The starting for a mediator, you can get around $50,000. However, the median income is 67, and the higher paying mediator can get up to 100,000 for big law firms and stuff. So there is a growing demand for mediators in Canada, so you should keep it on your list. Personally, I know you're gonna diss, but listen, alright? You only need a bachelor's degree. You don't need a law.
No, but this guy doesn't even need a bachelor's degree. RCMP just goes in.
Yeah, I'm not an RCMP.
I know you're not RCMP, but I'm saying
Okay, wait. Before we get into the rankings, so first we're all gonna say like our bottom 5 and stuff. We're gonna say like our bottom 5, our 5th, and then we're each gonna say our 5th, yeah. And we're gonna say why we put it in 5th. And after we're done saying all our 5, yeah, then we're gonna, I'm gonna beat these guys and tell them why I chose my jobs.
what I do.
So first, I think number 5, it's supposed to be obvious. It's mediator. What a horrible job. So boring. You do the same whatever repetitive thing, just solving problems between like two people. I just see Zaid and Sabir fighting at school or whatever. I don't know. It just sounds horrible.
I agree with you there, Tar. I think mediator is a little bit of a overexcited job by Sabir Ismail. Definitely see no competition between the other 4 jobs that we have on this list. I'd definitely say that mediator is definitely the worst job of this list. Not to say it's
Now let's see what Mr. Mediator has to say.
So, Mr. Mediator is the RCMP officer.
wow.
I'm sorry, but it's gotta be done. RCMP officer has to do last. You're risking your life. You're not gonna be seeing your family. Media, you're at home. You're seeing your family every single day. How do you feel? No, how do you feel that you're seeing your family every single day as a mediator? RCMP, you're not seeing them.
Bro, my teacher's a mediator. I don't know what the difference is, man.
I'm like, no, but it's big corporations, right? If you don't want to go to court, this is what you want. You get a mediator, and mediator is
So
going to help.
a mediator is a knockoff judge.
A knockoff judge, correct? Yes, that's.
I don't know what.
A knockoff judge that doesn't need a law degree.
Okay. Let's ignore Sabir said anything. I'm gonna go with forensic scientist.
Allah.
And the reason I chose this was it sounds cool and fun, way more cool and like creative than the other jobs. But the reason I chose this is when choosing jobs, salary has to be an aspect. And forensic scientist, out of the of course media is not even a discussion, but forensic scientist has low pay compared to the other 3 jobs that are left, which is why I think that forensic scientist should be last here, because not only because of the pay, but like. I don't know. I just think the other 3 jobs are in a different level, and then media is just somewhere, and then forensic scientist is fourth. I believe.
I think we have a problem here, Ty. I think forensic scientist is definitely way up there. They have a starting pay of 55 grand. 55 grand, that's pretty big for a starting pay.
Mediator has a starting of 50.
Nobody cares about mediator. It's a knockoff judge.
I know you brought, no, I'm just saying you brought up the fact that it's 55K starting. I'm just saying mediator is starting 50.
But listen.
And RCMP, what is it starting? 87?
Starting. I don't know what the starting is, but I think let me check the starting real quick. You guys keep talking.
Alright, listen, forensic scientists, right, Tar? They have the integration between law and science, which is probably the coolest combination out there.
Nah,
What would you say is a better combination?
a better combination. I actually don't know.
I just feel like law and science together is just like one hell of a subject.
Just one moment. RCMP officers have a starting salary of 60,000, and it goes up to 83,000 on average.
Okay.
And it goes even higher to 100 something thousand.
Anyways.
For high pay.
Anyways, disregarding forensic scientists from Tar, my number 4 is RCMP. I somewhat agree with Sabir, risking your life out there on the field. You can definitely make something better. Maybe try going for a job that might be a little bit more, I guess, safety. I guess safety. What? Safety. I'll put the word.
See, you don't even know what you're saying, bro.
I'm just saying the risk is very high as an RCMP officer.
Yes.
All right, you're not in the city. You don't have backup, man. You're just out there.
Okay, wait. You're telling me RCMP has a risk when there's
Being an officer in general is just a risk, and I don't want that risk.
Okay, one thing. Okay, wait, let me say something. Okay. So you're telling me there's a risk of safety. You're telling me there's a risk of safety, right?
Risk of safety.
Like your risk of your like safety, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
So obviously some RCMP jobs have like a risk of safety, but there's a thing here. For example, for RCMP officer, out of these jobs, it's the most in demand because public safety needs are always increasing. So your job security is not at risk, while you're here with what? So even your Supreme Court judge, which is like chosen by the government. And what's the demand? The demand is in the dirt. The demand is in the dirt for that.
There is no dirt.
For not even Supreme Court judge. For not even Supreme Court judge. Wait. Even for like the other jobs, RCMP, public safety is always a need that's gonna keep increasing.
I don't know why this guys keep going.
Okay,
Okay, let's see. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is mediator because my RCMP was 5th, so essentially me and Zaid are the same, alright?
Let's go.
Essentially me and Zaid are the same. But I'm gonna come back to what you said about Supreme Court judge. I'm gonna wait till we go down the rankings a little bit, right? But still, mediator was number 4. I really think RCMP and media are just like this, you know? They're both bad.
They're close in bad.
Yes, correct.
Let's go.
Correct.
Right,
okay, so let me start with my number 3. My number 3 was forensic scientist.
Alright, I'll accept that.
I think it was okay. This is number 3.
Why?
These guys are cheating on idiocy.
Okay, I think forensic scientist is number 3 because just the other. Sorry, the mic. The other 2, you know, were just a little bit, you know, higher standards overall. So, here.
Okay, what is this? Okay. We had a disturbance, but we're back. And for my number 3, I put Supreme Court judge. And the reason I put Supreme Court judge is, it is definitely so hard to get. It is so hard to get it, and it's the most difficult job. Zaid has gone to deal with some issues, but obviously it's the most difficult job to get in, and we can all agree with that. 9 people in all of Canada, can you imagine? 9 people in all of Canada get that job. But the reason I didn't put Supreme Court judge lower is you have to look at the pay. 400,000. That is really good pay, which is why I put it in the number 3 position. Because the 9 people out of 35 million, you know how that's so easy to get, right? Just look at these goons with idiocy and doing whatever.
Okay. You gonna come with goon?
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is definitely gonna be a corporate lawyer. I like it, but I think
I can respect that.
Supreme Court has a definitely higher standard. Alright, it's harder to achieve, but if you get
9 people in Canada!
if you get there, you are literally one of the top people. in
Yeah, the
Canada.
job security is low. Job security is low.
Huh?
But getting there has to be at first. When you rank
listen,
it, getting there has to be.
number one. Listen. I literally put corporate lawyer at number 3 because I think it's really cool. Okay, I love it. It sounds like you're not dealing with small little factions of businesses. You're dealing with something big.
Okay,
and you usually get.
Alright, let's finish our rankings. You
Okay.
already said all-
Okay,
Say your
say
number two.
number 2. Let's see your
Number one.
My number 2 is gonna be what's it called? Supreme Court.
He's playing forensic at 1.
Yeah, I like forensics.
Look at this
It's
dude.
A lot of science.
Wait
You don't
till you
get
see
that
the-
combination everywhere else.
No.
My number 2 is RCMP officer, and the reason I put RCMP officer is it's easiest to become, bro. The road there has to be an aspect where we rank these in. Obviously, everything else counts. As Supreme Court judge, you're one of the most important people in Canada, right? And I think that's amazing. But we also, for like looking at the law aspects, getting into that job has to be a thing, and especially for 9 people, 9 people in Canada.
You're going into this waffle.
Okay, no, wait.
You're done,
RCMP
you're
number
done.
2. RCMP number 2.
Wait,
What's your number 2? What's your number 2 right now? What's your number 2 right now?
What's your number one? Sorry.
No, let's hear your number 2. Number 2. Let's
My
hear
number
number 2.
2 is corporate lawyer.
It's a Supreme Court judge as well.
Number 1 was
same
Supreme Court judge because I feel like as a lawyer, when you go into law school, I feel like your end goal dream is a Supreme Court judge. That's what I feel like. It's not about like dreaming about I'm
My
gonna go
dream
to law
is
school.
becoming Bill Gates. Now do that for me, please.
Be quiet. Listen, I'm saying, right? When you go into law school, you can't expect to be a Supreme Court judge. It's a status that's met when
And it's acquired.
It's acquired. It's like being the Prime Minister of Canada. When you go into when you become a politician, you think the chances are going to be high that you're going to be the Prime Minister or the Premier? Yes or no? No. So
There you go. Yeah.
The Supreme Court judge has a chance to become Prime Minister of Canada.
no, I'm just relating. No, this guy's so mad, bro. I'm relating politicians to law. Like when you go into politician, do you expect yourself to be a Premier or a Prime Minister?
Bro. You think just anyone can be a Supreme Court judge?
No, not anyone.
No,
but you
I'm
can be.
saying-
You
I'm
can
saying like
be.
when you're a judge or
No,
you're a
how
barrister.
difficult it is. It's probably one of the
But-
top difficult jobs.
And that's a prestige.
Listen.
That should be number 1.
It's a prestige, but getting that prestige is difficult.
Exactly. Just like being the Prime Minister of Canada is difficult for a politician.
That's why it's for our purposes. For our purposes, we're not ranking which job is like the most honored or the most.
Why do you care about our ranking?
We're
This is
talking
our
about
ranking, fam.
Because we're talking about you have to put that in your ranking. You can't just be like high salary, most prestige.
Supreme
Who said high salary?
Supreme Court judge.
I said high salary has to be. There's different aspects. If you rank your thing with one thing, you're just a blind person.
Supreme Court judge.
Just pull it up. Sorry for a second.
Okay, wait. Let me say my number 1. Let everyone say their number 1, and then we can argue.
So what's Zaid said is number 1.
I'm a forensic scientist for sure.
My number 1 is corporate lawyer, and the reason I chose corporate lawyer as number 1, obviously, is because it's not as difficult. It's not as difficult as a Supreme Court judge, and you still get more money than all of them except the Supreme Court judge, of course. And like, it's not as difficult as that, and you can get that, and there's a lot of those as well, and they're in demand too. And you can like still get the money.
And I'm done with your waffle, right? So listen to me. Supreme Court judge, being a Supreme Court judge is a dream. It's a dream for a lawyer, it's a dream for a judge.
Fact.
Listen, it's an absolute dream. If you're a lawyer, being a Supreme Court judge is an absolute dream that I would love to be met, but it's a thing that, you can't be certain that you're going to get at one point. But it's just a thing that, it's a prestige. It's a prestige.
But
You know what I
a
mean?
dream, okay. For you to be one, I think Supreme Court judge is the best job, okay? That's not what I disagree on. You know what I disagree on? I disagree on if. Okay, that can be a ranking. If you take everything into perspective, everything. Okay, listen. Tell me, if you take getting the job into perspective, if you take the salary into perspective, which is Supreme Court judge wins. If you take the dream into perspective, Supreme Court judge wins again. I agree with those on that. With your arguments, I agree on all of those. But the thing, you have to know, right? If you take that and you also put it together with the aspect of it being such a hard job to achieve, don't you think if you put that into perspective, it should be ranked 2 and 3?
I think the
If
only
you
way-
put that.
the only
But if
way-
you don't count that, if you count dream, if you count salary, 100% number 1. Every lawyer's dream, 100% number 1.
100% number one.
How-
I don't disagree.
we should-
But what I disagree on is forensic scientist number one.
Yeah,
I got
I think that was a little
I think
combo.
It's a sick combo. You're telling me you would rather not experience being a forensic scientist? It's a sick combo.
I mean,
Think about that.
the job sounds cool and fun, but like I don't know about that.
Listen.
Go to different crime scenes. I don't know.
Listen, law. You know what all these jobs have in common? They all go under law. Forensic scientist, it goes under science and law. They're so interconnected that I find it amazing. All right, there's a lot of perks to being a forensic scientist too, and I agree with you two about your number ones as well. But I think what we all need to know today is what you guys think is your number one.
Whatever you think is worth it.
They should really take this into consideration. Okay, you cannot start screwing it. No.
Okay. I'm sorry guys. I just got really heated up in the conversation because I heard some blasphemy today. You guys are doing something? So obviously we very much disagreed with each other. I'm never doing a podcast again with these guys. Look at TZPODCAST. They don't know anything. TZPODCAST is whack. Yeah. So this is the last podcast I'm doing.